So this is my review of Executive Replicas Unholy Trinity, and I'm going to do all three of them at once in this video. So we have Purgatori, Red Sonja, and Vampirella. So a lot of people have been waiting for this release for about a year now. I got mine from Neo Geek Toys, and each one was around 75 bucks. They had a coupon offering. If you buy a certain amount, I think they take like 5 or 10 bucks off. So I did use that once. But yeah, I expect to pay around $70 to $80 for this. I did see it on Hobby Galaxy for $65, but they weren't in stock at the time. So I just got it from Neo Geek. Anyway, so a lot of people might be familiar with this line already because Executive Replicas did release a lot of figures before this, including Lady Death, which I'm going to show for comparison, and a few others in the past also. And they have more coming up, and definitely an interesting company, and I'd have to say they're probably my favorite company for 2023. I'm guessing they're a smaller company, and I really like the work they do. So we're just going to do this in alphabetical order, so we'll start with Purgatori. So I'm just going to move these two just for now, just to get them out of the way. And I'll try to be as systematic about this as possible. And that being said, we'll just talk about her size. And I'd have to say, out of the three, I do like the color scheme of Purgatori the most, because red's my favorite color. But in terms of dimensions, these figures are all around 6.5 inches. So I'm not going to remeasure all of them just for time's sake, but just to show you here, yeah, she's about 6.5 inches tall. Yeah, so about 6.5 inches. And for me, weight is an important thing also. Really kind of gives you a sense of quality with these figures. And let's see how much she weighs. Zero that in. And obviously the wings are going to add a bit of mass. So almost 3 ounces, and that's pretty decent. For the size at least. She definitely has a good feel in the hand. In terms of overall feel, she does feel very premium. She has a nice matte finish going on all throughout. Looks very nice, no kind of crappy gloss coating anywhere. And you'd expect that at this price point, so that's expected. Okay, with that out of the way, just in terms of aesthetics, I didn't really notice any paint defects, and the paint scheme overall is fairly simple. It's mainly just red and black. I do like the silvers they painted in. But yeah, she looks good, very clean paint. I really like the shading they put on the wings. That's expected at this price point. They did a good job with it. It's not splotchy or messy. They did put good shading on the skin also. Very nicely done. In terms of her face, yeah, it looks very clean. She is a comic book character, so she looks like she stepped right out of the comics, so I think they did a really nice job with that. Moving into articulation, and again, I'm not gonna, these are all essentially the same body, more or less, so I'm not gonna harp on the articulation for each of the other two, but they're essentially the same. Okay, so just looking at the articulation here, her head is on a double ball joint, and that is an improvement over some of their older figures, which was on it was some kind of peg if I remember correctly, but this is a double ball joint, so you do get a movement. But now, this is the one thing that annoys me with this figure, and I hate when any figure does this. This hair is rigid. So she has great head articulation, but you can't do anything with it because that hair piece is just molded so stiffly. And it's even worse with the wing. They did a cutout for the wing, but that does nothing for you, so you lose all the head articulation on Purgatori because of that. With this hair piece at least. She does have another hair piece I'll show you, but yeah, so that's kind of a downer. Arms are what you'd expect. She has a bicep swivel. I don't believe the joints, her elbow is not double jointed, but you do get more than 90 degrees, so that's good. Now, definitely an improvement over some of their older figures is that this wrist is on a vertical hinge, so that's really good for holding weapons and things like that. This wrist, horizontal hinge, which is great, good variety there. Leg goes up perfect, 90 degrees. Double jointed knees, very nice. They did the die cut very nicely. It's blended in and it's at a lower point, so it doesn't really break up the sculpt much. Ankle swivels up and down, has a good, very nice rocker on it also, so you could really do whatever you want with this figure. I will say, just given the molding over here, her legs don't go back at all, and that does hurt when you try to put her in certain stances, but that's just the sculpt of the figure. Can't do much about that, but I do hope they find a workaround for some of their future releases. I will also say, and I understand what they're going for with just more of kind of like, just kind of emphasizing form over kind of articulation here, but I wish they had some kind of lower cut over here just so she could get a little bit more movement down here also, because right now she only has movement on the chest, upper diaphragm, which is pretty good, but would have been nicer if you could have got some movement down there too. And it does suck later when, again, when you try to put them in fighting poses, you know, when you want to like angle her towards like her nemesis or whatever, it's going to be a little stiff because realistically human bodies are going to swivel there too to face whoever you're fighting. And for Purgatori, yeah, the wings, very nicely done. And ball joint, you can move those however you like. And that's what I like with wings. Wings really need freedom of movement. No crappy swivels or any of that, just good old-fashioned ball joint, it works. Okay, now in terms of the wings, they feel kind of cheap, which I don't like. These are too sharp also, like I don't like when companies do that. Not a big deal, some people don't care, but for me it's just, I don't know, it feels like it's going to break more easily. I wish the wings were a little bit softer, a little bit more flex to them, because these feel a little tinny, a little chintzy, so maybe fix those looking forward, but not a huge deal breaker. Okay, so overall, yeah, really good figure. And let's take a look at her accessories. So I'll leave her right there. Yeah, keep all your accessories in a Ziploc so you don't lose them. And speak of the devil, just dropped one of them. Okay. Alright, so in terms of accessories, she does get a flowing hairpiece. I'm guessing this will be a little bit better with articulation. She gets a bunch of alternate hands. I'm not going to talk about each one, but yeah, you get a ton. And I'll just show them up to the camera so you can see it. Okay, so you got a spread out hand, kind of like a claw hand, a fist, and a weapon holding hand for the left hand also. And the hand she has on right now is another fist and a weapon holding hand. So you have what you need in terms of alternate hands. Okay, let me put that away. She comes with a alternate head, showing her fangs, really nice. Looks really vicious, that looks nice. They did give an alternate head. I'm not sure why. From what I could see, it's more or less the same as the one she has right now, but I'll take it. And of course, she has a sword. I'm not familiar with any significance attached to this thing, but it looks nice, and really nice detail on it. Really nice chrome metallic paint on the hilt, and the blade looks really nice. This company doesn't kind of cheap out on accessories. Very nice. Okay, and that's it for Purgatori, so let me just set her aside. And staying with alphabetical order, we'll just talk about Red Sonja. Just put this away, get this out of the way. And yeah, so same height, so I'm not going to measure the height again, but I will tell you how much she weighs. Yeah, I'm a stickler for weight. I like my figures kind of chunky. 2.61 ounces. She's got good size to her. Obviously, she weighs a little less because she doesn't have the wings. Okay, but yeah, really nice weight on these figures, and that's one of the reasons I like them. Details, just in terms of like detail on the sculpt, yeah, Red Sonja has them all beat easily, in my opinion. The metallics on her armor, the shading on the leather of her armor, all look just great. And I feel like they did the hair much better on her too. So you have way more freedom with the hair. And it's as simple as just leave a little space over there. You see that? Just leave a little bit of space there. And you could get the head movement, and you could still have relatively flowing, kind of dynamic hair. So wish they did that for Purgatori. Articulation's all the same, so I don't really need to go over that again. They did a really nice job blending the thigh cut. Very nice. So there you go with Red Sonja. For me, it's a close tie between Purgatori and Red Sonja in terms of my favorites from this wave. But yeah, she looks great. And let's take a quick look at her accessories too. And that's nothing. This company does great with accessories. So comes the battle axe. Very nice. Let me just see if I can get that to focus in. There you go. You can see that. Okay. Comes with a very nice sword. Looks like something you'd see in Conan the Barbarian. Again, I'm not familiar with these characters, but yeah, it looks very nice. Again, with the chrome paint, they just nail it. It looks absolutely stunning. And yeah, they're really generous with the accessories, because it doesn't end there. Dual daggers too. And just look at the detail on those. Dark wash on the handles. Blade has very nice weathering details added onto it. It's just as simple as a little black wash, but so many companies are too lazy to even do that, let alone even give you this many alternate weapons. This is one of the reasons why I really like executive replicas. So great there on the accessories. Alternate hands, a little bit less than Purgatori, but you have what you need to do pretty much whatever. I'll just show you those again. There you go. Some open hand fists, 2 fist hands right there, weapon holding hands. That's pretty much it. So she has an open hand and a weapon holding hand on right now. Again, that's all you really need. So good job with the accessories on Red Sonja. And again, just in terms of quality control, I do have to mention this. One of her ankles, I remember, was looser than I would have liked. It was one of these figures, but seems fine right now. Let me just check. Might be on Vampirella, actually. Yeah, it was Vampirella. Okay. So, yeah. Red Sonja is fairly tight in terms of quality control. Looks great all around. Very nice looking figure. Yeah, really like her. Okay, let's get rid of her. And last, and in my opinion least, which, and you know, that's just being cheeky, but yeah, she's still a great figure, is Vampirella. Okay, so yeah, she's obviously my least favorite out of the 3. And I guess that comes to the character design itself. Just, there's really not a whole lot going on with her outfit. And that being said, she still looks good. And again, just for thoroughness' sake, and just see how much she weighs. Yeah, 2.6 ounces. Again, these are all pretty much on the same body. Okay, and yeah, she looks good. Yeah, outfit doesn't really kind of give for artistic license in terms of detail. It's more or less just a streak of red. Good work on the face. A little bland compared to Red Sonja. I'll just hold them side by side so you can see. Yeah, I think it's a night and day difference in terms of who looks more detailed here. And I think Red Sonja just kind of blows her out of the water. Yeah, that's just my opinion though. And just going back to Vampirella, articulation is the same, and yeah, the ankle was a little bit loose here. Seems fine now, but yeah, nothing crazy. Yeah, she still stands perfectly fine. I will say this cape is much lighter than the one that they had on Lady Death. which is excellent. That makes posing much easier. And speaking of Lady Death, just a comparison, even though she's using older technology, Lady Death is still probably my favorite out of all their figures. She had her fair share of kind of like quality issues. This elbow's a little bit loose. This knee joint was actually very loose. I had to use super glue to fix it, and I had to repaint it, add shading and all that. Not fun, and that was an issue I saw a lot of people complain about, that the knee was very loose, couldn't hold her weight up. I didn't have a problem with that on any of these new figures, so that's good. Yeah, they definitely were listening. Cape is very restrictive here. Glad that they kind of listen to people on that also. But yeah, overall, I do see improvements in this company. I don't see like any ugly paint chips on the joints. That was kind of an issue with Lady Death. What else? Yeah, no vertical hinge on Lady Death, so that was a nice new addition to this most recent wave. Well, I'll set her down there. And yeah, overall, alright, and let me just show you Vampirella's accessories, just to finish this review up. And she comes with a fair bit. Comes with two vampiric looking daggers, two of them. Looks nice. There you go. Comes with a bat. Try to get this stupid camera to focus. But yeah, it's a bat. This is probably my favorite. She comes with the kind of screeching vampire head. Looks very nice. And yeah, you get pretty much a few sets of alternate hands. So open hands and two weapon holding hands. And I just have two kind of generic open hands on her right now. Yeah. Alright. And let me just put these away. And yeah, overall, I'd say these figures, they're definitely a little bit more expensive than I'd like, but I'll cut them some slack just because they're probably a very small company, and they're listening and they're improving, and that's something not to be kind of like pessimistic, but you're not really seeing that with a lot of companies these days. And take your pick. Just little paint control issue there. Very little sloppy work there. Again, yeah, Vampirella is definitely the weakest of the bunch. Some paint, yeah, the red on this suit could be a lot cleaner. Yeah, definitely need to work on that. But okay, other than that, yeah, still a good figure. Yep, and yeah, you could get these, I'm guessing even Big Bad and everything. Big Bad's usually slow to get stuff, but they have them in stock on Big Bad, last I checked. Don't overpay on eBay. I saw people buying this on eBay, why these aren't rare. Lady Death is still in stock at places I've seen. So don't overpay, and look around. Yeah, you could find them for a cheap price. You could probably get them for like 70, 65 is the lowest I saw, but expect to pay around 70 to 80. And yeah, you won't be disappointed. They're definitely good figures, and I've been looking out for these for like over a year now, and I'm glad I got them because they're definitely worth it. Alright, that's pretty much it. So I'm using a new setup here, definitely better, I think. I will improve where I see opportunities to, and yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, I'll answer them all.